Yeah, so in the last session, we discussed about technical questions and also general questions. Okay. So before that, we discussed about cloud introduction. Yeah, and also DevSecOps introduction. Right. So 3 sessions completed. Today, we are going to discuss about SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. Yeah. So anyone new guy joined today? Anyone newly joined today for session? So can you ping me? Can you ping me in the chat? Any new guy joined today? We'll provide you previous recordings. 3 sessions completed, 3 demos, right? Yeah. So today we are going to discuss about SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. Yeah. Still people are joining. Fine. Anyways, let's get started. Fine. So what is SDLC? So why we require SDLC? Every company, every project team, why they are using build and release process, right? What is Agile? What is waterfall? So let's try to understand today. Look at here. Yeah. So this is Agile, right? Agile is a parallel development, right? So currently, every organization, every project team, they're following Agile methodology. They're using Agile methodology, right? Agile is nothing but it is a parallel development, right? So parallel development. For example, one application divided into bits and pieces. For example, digital application, any application, they divide into development team, they divide into bits and pieces. That bits and pieces, you can call it as sprint. Sprint. So what is sprint? Sprint is a timeline, right? Sprint is a timeline. So in Agile methodology, so first of all, requirement gathering and design, development, right? Testing, deploy, review. So this is the flow, right? So requirement gathering from client development team, what they will do, they gather the requirement. So front-end UI, so the design required, whatever the design they need, right? So front-end technology, back-end technology. So database, which database they require, they need to gather all the requirement. So after the design, they start the coding part, development part. After that, testing should be happened. Software deployment should be happened. After that, they review the application. So this is the process every development team follow, right? Currently following every development team. Now look at here. So these are the 7 important stages. Very, very important. Entry question also, right? So in the 7 stages, first of all, plan. Plan is nothing but requirement finalization, requirement gathering, requirement updates, right? So here, architecture designing, right? Task assignment, timeline finalization, these are all comes under plan, right? So plan, first of all, client give the plan, right? So that plan, they design, they yeah, set the timeline, they prepare the architecture, right? Yeah.
ఏంది మే
Can you mute yourself, everyone?
నిదానంగా చెప్పు.
Fine. So first they plan, development team, they gather the requirement and they can plan, right? So after that, yeah, second one here is development should be started. Coding should be started, right? They start working on the front end UI, back end API development, database, which database they require. They start the development, coding part, right? Once the development is completed, right? So here the code should be built, right? As a DevSecOps engineer, as a DevOps engineer, what we will do? We can build the code. We can build the code, right? So we can pull the code from GitHub to Jenkins, and we can build the code by using the CI/CD tool, CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment tool, right? So after that, testing should be happen. Testing. So every application testing should be happen before going to the release, right? So testing, yeah, by using unit test cases, right? by using Selenium testing, or automation testing, or manual testing. Testers test the code, right? So after that, yeah, release. Release means it is ready. It is ready to deploy, right? Yeah. So once release this, finally we can deploy the application on respect to application servers. Once we deploy the application, so that application should be operated. We can operate the application. So these are the 7 important stages available in the CI/CD, right? Every development team, every operation, they're following the important 7 stages. These are all very, very important. Okay. Now, I give you a small example here. Yeah, look at my screen, everyone. Developer develop the code in their local workspace. Developer develop the code in their local workspace. So what is workspace? What is workspace? So always developer develop the code in their local workspace. This is we can say Git local. Git local. They pull the code, they push the code, they merge the code, right? So multiple times they push and pull the code, they change the code, they commit the code, right? Developers. So developer A and developer B both are working on the same requirement. Both are working on the same requirement, right? So here developer develop the code in their local Git. So once development is completed, what they will do? They push the code to remote repository, which is GitHub. This is a remote repository, which we can say GitHub, right? So basically, what is Git? What is Git, right? Git is a repository tool or version control tool. Git is a repository tool or version control tool. So what is a repository? Where we store our data, where we store our source code is nothing but repository. So it can be any data. It can be binary files, image files, video files, audio files, spreadsheets. It can be any data. Where we store the data is nothing but repository. Next one, version control. What is version control? It track the changes over time. It track the changes over time. Version control is nothing but track the changes over time, right? So here Git will track the changes. So in the Git, it will allow you to add the comments. Git allows you to add the comments like who did changes, when did changes, and what purpose did changes. Git allows you to add the comments here, right? Who did changes, when did changes, and what purpose did changes. Who did changes? Ram did changes. When did changes? At 7 a.m. IST did some changes. What purpose did changes? Due to some production issues, did some changes, right? So Git allows you to add the comments. So who did changes, when did changes, what purpose did changes. So based on these comments, Git will track the version, right? So here Git is a local repository, GitHub is the remote repository. So what is Git? Git is a repository tool or version control tool. So repository is nothing but where we store our source code, is nothing but repository. Version control is nothing but it track the changes over time. So for example, 10 developers are working on the same application development. 10 developers are working on the same application development, right? So 3 people are working on front-end UI. 3 people are working on back-end API development. So 4 people are working on database. Who is doing what? Who is doing what? How can we track who is doing what? How can we track? By using the version control system. By using the version control system, we can track the changes. Understanding everyone? By using the version control system, we can track the changes. Any questions and so far? Anyone having any questions? Fine. Yeah, once the code is moved to GitHub, so developer develop the code in their local workspace. Once the development is completed, what they will do? They push the code to remote repository, so which is GitHub. Once the code is moved to GitHub, yeah, so our next tool is in this flow, our next tool is Jenkins. Jenkins. Yeah, this is Jenkins. Jenkins is the CI/CD tool. Jenkins is the CI/CD tool. What is CI/CD? What is CI/CD? So continuous integration, continuous deployment tool. It is a continuous integration, continuous deployment tool or delivery tool, right? So in DevOps, we have multiple tools are there. All the tools are individual tools. One tool will not communicate other tool. So here, Jenkins is the mediator tool. To integrate all the tools, will communicate all the tools by installing plugins. Understanding it, everyone? So in DevOps, we have multiple tools are there. In DevOps, multiple tools are there. So all the tools are individual tools. One tool will not communicate other tool. Jenkins is the mediator tool. It will integrate all the tools, will communicate all the tools by installing plugins. What is plugin? So plugin is the package. Plugin is the package, right? So here, for example, whatever the code pushed by developers from local git to remote repository. So this code should be deployed onto respective target servers, right? So this code should be deployed onto respective application servers. So if you want to deploy this code on respective application servers, we required Jenkins CI/CD, right? So first of all, we need to integrate GitHub with the Jenkins. How can we integrate? By installing plugin. By installing plugin, we can integrate GitHub with the Jenkins. Once we integrate GitHub with the Jenkins, after that we prepare the jobs. We prepare the jobs and we trigger the jobs. We run these jobs. We prepare the jobs and we run the jobs. Once we run the jobs, right, what will happen? Once we trigger the job, this code will be pulled from GitHub to Jenkins. Right? So once we pull this code from GitHub to Jenkins, this code we can say raw code and raw code. What is raw code? Raw code is nothing but unstructured code, unformatted code. So raw code we cannot directly deploy onto respective application servers. Raw code is unstructured code, unformatted code. This raw code will not understand by application servers. So that is why what we will do, we can integrate one more tool here, which is Maven. Yeah, this is Maven. So Maven is a build tool. Maven is a build tool. Maven is the build tool, so which generates artifacts. Maven is the build tool which generates artifacts. Artifact is nothing but archive file. Archive file. So binary file, zip file, war file, jar file, tar file, right? So Maven generates artifacts, right? Artifact is a archive file, binary file, jar file, war file, right? Yeah. So what is artifact? What is artifact? Let me explain now. So the code is available in the Jenkins now, right? That code is raw code. That code is raw code. So raw code will not understand by application servers. So this is the application server. This we can say Tomcat server. App server, or we can say Tomcat server. Right? Tomcat server. Yeah. So this application servers, they will not understand this raw code. That is why we integrated one more tool here, which is Maven. Maven take the raw code and convert into artifact. Artifact is nothing but so war file or jar file or ER file or zip file. So it will take the raw code and convert into zip format, binary format. Okay. So for example, look at here everyone. So application developments. Yeah, every project team for they develop the application. So application types, three types are available. Applications are three types. Application developments, three types of developments. Okay. For example, here Java team working on Java development is going on. Java development. In Java development, Java application development, first one here is desktop application development. Desktop application development. Second one is web application development. So third one here is enterprise application development. So application developments are three types: desktop application development, web application development, and also enterprise application development. So three types of application developments are available, right? So desktop application development, what is desktop, right? So whatever the applications we are using in our local system, local desktop, those are all we can say desktop applications, right? Whatever the applications we are using in our local, those applications we can call it as desktop application. For example, paintbrush, right? So and also calculator, notepad, these are all desktop applications. Paintbrush, calculator, notepad, and also media player. So these are all desktop applications, right? Even Zoom workspace also, like WhatsApp also, right? So here Word also. These are all we can say desktop applications, right? So desktop application we can host in the local system, local desktop only, right? In our local laptop or desktop, right? So my desktop application you cannot access. Your desktop application I cannot access, right? So we can use the application in local system. So for example, development team, they are working on developing the desktop application. So Maven generates jar file, Java archive file. Maven generates Java archive file. Yeah, if the application team, they're developing the application, which is a web application, for example. Application team is working on web application development. Application team, they're working on web application. So Maven generates WAR file, web archive file. If the application team is working on, normally web applications, we can host on the server. Web applications, we can host on the server, right? We can access through internet. Web applications, we can host on the server and we can access through internet, right? Yeah, so web application. Next one, enterprise application. If the application team is working on enterprise application, so Maven generates the ER file. ER, enterprise archive file. So based on the application development, Maven generates the respective artifact. So enterprise application is nothing but millions of requests per second. Millions of requests per second. Enterprise level applications. Okay. So application team develop the enterprise level application. Yeah. So here Maven generates the ER file, enterprise archive file. So based on the application development, Maven generates the respective artifact. Okay. So once Maven generates the artifact, so for example, Maven generates the war file. So this war file will be given back to Jenkins. Jenkins push that war file to respective application server. Here we deploy the war file. Clear, right, everyone? So in live application, this process will be happened. For example, let us take small example here. So live application, which is Flipkart. Flipkart. Look at here, everyone. So Flipkart is giving offers, right? So Flipkart is giving offers. So for example, mobile offer. Look at here, mobile offer. So mobile offers, look at here. These are all offers available. Mobile offers Flipkart is giving, right? Look at here. How to get iPhone 17 from, yeah, this price, okay? So look at here. Yeah, so here 82,900 MRP. Final sale price is 79,900. Exchange offer up to 3,000, right? Sunder. So 2,000 rupees cash back when we use the bank cards, right? So 2,000 rupees cash back when we use this banks, right? So like that, they're giving offers. So who is adding these offers? Who is modifying these offers? So who is placed these offers? Who will add these offers? Backend development team. Development team, they modify the code in local Git. Once development is completed, they push the code to GitHub. From here, Jenkins take the code, convert into artifact, which is war file or jar file. So give back to Jenkins. Jenkins push that war file to respect to Flipkart server. Here, the war file will be deployed. Once the war file is deployed, these changes will be reflected. On the fly, no downtime, nothing. In live, the changes will be reflected. Clear, right? Yeah. So in live, the changes will be updated. So festival efforts, year-end efforts, New Year efforts, right? So local development team, local Git, in local Git, development team develop the code. They push the code to GitHub. So once the code is moved to GitHub, Jenkins take the code, convert into artifact by using the Maven. That artifact you can push to the respective application server. Here we deploy the war file or jar file. Once we deploy, that will be reflected to the application. Clear, right, everyone? Any questions, Sandy, so far, anyone? Up to here, any questions, anyone? Up to here, any questions, anyone? Yeah, so far, any questions, anyone? This flow you understand, right?
Building. Yes. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Yes.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మనం ఆ బిల్ టూర్లో మనం డెవాప్స్ ఇంజనీర్ అనేవాడు ఇప్పుడు ఆ మ్యావెన్ టూల్ ఉపయోగించి సో వాట్ ఎవర్ ద కోడ్ అనేది మనం జెన్కిన్స్ లో రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటాం కదా రా కోడ్ అనేది సో దాన్ని కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తాడు సార్ అంటే మాన్యువల్ గా అతను కన్వర్ట్ చేసి సో అగైన్ హీ పుష్ బ్యాక్ టు జెన్కిన్స్
Manual, no manual conversion, Andy. No manual conversion, right? So when we trigger the job, look at here. Everyone, when we run this job, can you mute yourself for 1 minute? Can you mute? Background noise is coming here. Yeah, when we run this job in Jenkins, Jenkins pull the code from GitHub to Jenkins and it will give it to the Maven. Jenkins hand over this code to Maven. Maven convert into war file. That war file will be give back to Jenkins. Jenkins push that war file to respective Tomcat server, application server. So by using this job, by triggering this job, we can perform this activity. We don't need to convert manually. Clear, right? Sai Charan.
we trigger like the job.
Yeah, job trigger. For cron jobs, we have different jobs, right? So, yeah, I'll show you something like. So, cron tab group, there is a website. For example, if you want to run any job, we can configure the jobs like this. So every day, every minute, I want to run the job. I'll show you practically. So nothing to worry. So job is nothing but it is a functionality, right? So we can schedule the job. We can schedule the job. So here 5 stars, right? Star, 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 star. So first star is a minute, second star is hour, third star is day, fourth star is month, fifth star is weekday, right? For example, every day I want to run this job at 8 a.m. Look at here. This is the schedule. 0 minute, 8 hour. Exactly 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. IST, the job will be triggered. Understanding right here? This job's explained. So nothing to worry while working on the Jenkins. Practically, I'll show you that. Okay. So in my console, yeah, so previous Jenkins server, previous batch Jenkins server is available. So Jenkins is going the current batch. Okay. So, but if I explain right away, you will be confused, right?
లైక్ ఇన్ ఏ సింపుల్ టర్మ్స్ లైక్ సో జాబ్ అనేది నార్మల్ గా అంటే షెడ్యూల్ చేసుకునే దానికి
Schedule, yes.
సో ట్రిగర్
Exactly.
చేసుకో
Exactly.
జస్ట్ ట్రిగర్
So
లైక్
schedule, yes, we trigger the job. Yes. So
సో
once we
దట్
trigger
లైక్
the job, yeah, go
ఈ
ahead. Please.
అప్లికేషన్ రన్ చేసుకునేదానికా సార్ ఆ ట్రిగర్ చేసేదానికి వాట్ ఎవర్ ద కోడ్ మనం గిట్ హబ్ నుంచి పుష్ చేస్తాం కదా
Yes, yes, correct.
సో ఆ పుష్ చేసి ఆ కోడ్ అనేది మనం సో గిట్ హబ్ నుంచి మనం జెన్కిన్స్ కి ట్రిగర్ చేయడానికి మనం ఈ జాబ్ అనేది వాడతాం
Exactly,
షెడ్యూల్
exactly, exactly. Manually, we don't run the job, Andy. Manually, we don't run the code. Manually, we don't convert into artifact. Okay, so by using the Jenkins only, yeah, we can. Yeah, just a moment, Andy. I just want to log in here. 485 Yeah. So manually we don't convert we don't pull, we don't convert into artifact, right? So by using the Jenkins job only, by running this Jenkins job only, we can pull the code from GitHub to Jenkins. Once you trigger the job, once you run the job, the code will be pulled from GitHub to Jenkins and it will hand over to Maven. Maven is a build tool. Maven takes the raw code and convert it into single file as a war file, jar file, ER file. That war file will be given back to Jenkins. Jenkins push that war file to respective application server. Here we deploy the war file. Right? For example, in your laptop, you have 100 documents, PDF documents. I asked you to send those documents to me. Right? What is the simplest way to send those documents to me? How can you send the documents? ఎలా పంపిస్తారు?
zip file.
Yeah. So instead of attaching 100 documents, you can convert into zip, right? As a single file. That zip file can attach to the email and send it across. Same way, same functionality will work in Maven also. Maven take the raw code, convert it to artifact as a jar file or war file or ER file. Single file it will convert. So that war file will be given back to the Jenkins. Jenkins push that war file to respective application servers. Here we deploy the war or jar or ER file. Clear and everyone? Sai Charan, you are clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Others, any confusions here? Any questions? So this we can say build and release process. Build and release process. Every development team, every organization, they are following the same process currently. Okay. So in live application, in live project, live deployment, this process will be happening. But sometimes we use the non-live applications also. Non-live applications like harshatrainings.com is the non-live application. harshatrainings.com is the non-live application, right? So in the non-live application, what we will do, we can add one more tab here, which is, we can add one more tool here, which is we can say Nexus. Nexus repository. Right? So what is Nexus? What Nexus will do? Nexus is a repository tool. Nexus is the repository tool, right? So yeah, what is the importance of Nexus? So whatever the WAR files are generated by Maven, those WAR files we can store in the Nexus. Just a moment. Nexus normally we can attach here. So directly can attach to the Jenkins. You can show here also, but normally, so you can attach like this. We can integrate with the Jenkins, right? So this is the Nexus. Nexus is specially designed to store our artifacts. Whatever the artifact generated by Maven, WAR file, jar file, ER file, those we can store in the Nexus, right? In non-live applications, we can store this WAR files in the Nexus, right? So whenever we have release, by the time this WAR files you can push to the respective application servers. Here we deploy the WAR file. Understanding it, everyone? So Nexus is the repository tool. Whatever the WAR files generated by Maven, those WAR files you can store in the Nexus. Yeah, whenever we have release deployment, so by the time we can push these WAR files to respective application servers, here we deploy the WAR. Clear, right, everyone? Yeah, fine. It's okay, but here a developer develop the code and the DevOps engineers they deploy the code and the testers where the testing will be happen. What about testing? Yeah. So here, once the code is moved to GitHub, testing should be happened. Once it is converted to artifact also, testing should be happened. So now here we use one more tool, which is very important tool, which is Sonar. Sonar code review tool. This is Sonar. We use Sonar code review tool. What is Sonar? What Sonar will do? What is Sonar? What Sonar will do? Sonar is a code review tool. Sonar is the code review tool, right? So by using Sonar, we can review. So every company, every project team, what they will do, what they are doing currently, they are maintaining the code standards. Every project team, they are maintaining the code standards, right? So code quality is very, very important, right? So if you want to maintain the code quality, so we required code review tool, which is Sonar. Sonar is very popular tool, right? In the Sonar developers, what they will do, they create metrics. What is metric? Metric is a rule, right? So if any duplicate lines are there, duplicate lines and fixes, hot fixes, right? Sonar review. As per the metrics, Sonar what it will do? Review the code and it will provide the report. Sonar is the code review tool. So it will maintain the code standards. Yeah, it will review the code and it provides the report. So that based on the report, developers, what they will do, they fix the errors, issues, they work on the coding part. Okay. So to maintain the code quality, we use the Sonar code review tool. Clear, right? Right. So this is build and release process. Okay. So this flow is very, very important. Entire DevOps, we follow this flow. But along with this, we have advanced tools also, right? We have advanced tools also. What are the tools? We have advanced tools like Docker, right? So what is Docker? Docker is a container tool. So Docker we can integrate with the Jenkins. Docker also we can integrate with the Jenkins. If you want to integrate Docker with the Jenkins, what we require? We need to install plugin, right? So we can install, configure Docker, and we can integrate with the Jenkins. So whatever the application we are deploying on the application server, that WAR file we can deploy onto Docker also in real-time projects. So integrations are very simple, very easier. Okay. So Docker is a container tool. So next one more tool, advanced tool, which is Kubernetes. What is Kubernetes? Kubernetes is the container orchestration tool. Container orchestration tool. What is orchestration? Orchestration is nothing but a daemon, which will manage the respective target servers, right? Orchestration is a daemon. So Kubernetes is advanced to Docker. Kubernetes is advanced to Docker, right? Yeah, one more tool here, which is Ansible. Ansible is the configuration management tool. Ansible is the configuration management tool. We can deploy, we can automate the applications using Ansible. Okay, one more tool we have, which is Terraform. Terraform is the infrastructure automation tool. So Terraform is the infrastructure automation tool. So by using the Terraform, we can automate the infrastructure, right? Next one, Grafana. Grafana is a monitoring tool, and also Prometheus. Prometheus also monitoring. So both are both the tools are monitoring tools, right? Monitoring tools. Both are monitoring tools. Fine. Yeah. Now, along with this, we have Argo CD. Argo CD we have. So this is a deployment agent. Deployment agent, right? So Argo CD also we use. So along with this, we are going to cover 4 live projects. 4 live projects. Okay, these are the major projects. Along with this 4 live projects, 10 small projects will be covered. 10 small projects, simple projects. Right. So total 14 projects here. Okay. And also here, security tools like 3V, right? So different tools are available. Security tools also will be covered. And also AI services, AI tools and services. Will be covered. So along with this, we have AWS, Azure, and a GCP will be covered in our course. Multi-cloud, right? DevsecOps SRE with AI plus multi-cloud, right? So these are all will be covered. So here, look at here. Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, we can integrate with the Jenkins. How can we integrate? By installing plugins, right? Yeah. So every concept we can go through the practical oriented. We can work on every tool practically. We can work on that, right? So not only installation configuration. So Git and GitHub will take 5 days. Git and GitHub will take 5 days. Jenkins will go very deep dive only. So nearly 8 to 10 days, Jenkins. So like that, every tool will go very deep dive. So these advanced tools are very, very important tools. Okay, here. So every tool will go very deep dive. So we are going to learn all these tools, but we don't use all the tools in the real-time projects, right? So 3 tools maximum or 4 tools we use, right? We are going to learn nearly 15 tools, right? So we don't use all the tools. We don't use all the tools, right? Yeah. So we use limited tools. So here Docker Swarm will be covered. Docker Swarm, And also Helm will be covered. Helm is a part of Kubernetes. Docker Swarm, Helm. This Helm is the part of Kubernetes, right? Docker Swarm is the vendor. Fine. So these all tools will be covered in our course, right? Yeah. So we have completed 4 sessions only today. Today is the 4th session. So tomorrow onwards, regular sessions only. Tomorrow onwards, regular sessions. If you are interested, you can register. You can register today. So link may be changed very soon. Meeting link will be changed. Okay. So if you are interested, you can talk to our admin team and you can register so that tomorrow onwards link may be changed. Okay. If you have any questions, you can reach out to my number. Also, look at here. This is my mobile number already shared with you, 96422 11711. So this is my mobile number. My name is Ram. Yeah, I'm a trainer for entire this course. Okay. You can reach out to this number if you have any questions. Right. I'll share with you course content. You can just ping me so that I'll share with you. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Fine. So tomorrow onwards, regular sessions will be started. Right. So you'll get the recordings and the previous recordings, demo recordings. So DevOps introduction, cloud introduction, question and answers, right? Today, SDLC, software development lifecycle. Yeah. Fine. So go back to the slides. Go back to the slides here. Look at here. So this is the Agile methodology. In the Agile, yeah, this is the flow, actual flow. So here we have 7 stages available: plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, operate. Right. So here planning, development team, they plan the activity, they get the requirement from client. So they start the development, they build the code, test the code, release, deploy, operate. This we already discussed. Okay. Now look at here. So before Agile, okay. So before Agile, we used to use waterfall, right? What is waterfall and anyone? What is waterfall? So currently we are not using waterfall, right? Currently we are not using waterfall. What is waterfall, anyone? Waterfall is the sequential development. So currently we are not using waterfall anymore. Okay. So every organization, every project team, they are following the same flow, right? The same flow we discussed here also. Fine. Yeah. So you can, if you're interested, you can register today. Okay. Tomorrow onwards, regular sessions will be started. Okay. We provide you this 4 sessions recordings. Okay. So if you are interested, you can register. You can make the fee. You can join to the course. Right. Link will be changed very soon. And we provide you Google Drive access. In that drive, all the documents are available. We upload all the documents daily basis. So in the Google Drive, look at here. Every day I upload the soft copy of the material. Okay, we provide you Google Drive access. From here you can take all the documents, required documents. Okay, look at here. So these are all the documents. Every day upload. Right, you can download the documents. Right, recordings also upload to the Google Drive, so you can access the recordings. Right. So every soft copy I provide you, every document, every day. Clear, right? Any more questions, Sandy? Anyone having any questions so far? Fine. Yeah, we can stop here. So if you are interested, you can register today. Fine. Yeah, if you have any more questions, if you want to talk to me, you can reach out to this number, 96422 11711. So my name is Ron. Right. So trainers, they never share their personal numbers. right? So from Harsha Trainings, we are sharing the numbers. Okay, fine. Yeah, we can stop here. Yeah, tomorrow at the same time, so 7 a.m. IST, we can start this session sharp. Okay, you can register as soon as possible. Fine. Thank you all.